the rust fungi which is infecting the soybean leaves. In short, they are making them infected, and unavailability of these things is to great loss to the agricultural purpose. After this, we will go to the second type of, you can say, the group called as the Zygomycota. Zygomycota are also called as the sporangium fungi. Why? Because they bear a sporangium, which is a fruiting body containing the sporangiospores. Commonly included examples over here are moles and blights. They have no cross walls, that is, they are aseptate hyphae, and they grow rapidly comparing to the other group of fungi. One of the best example which has been studied is the bread mole, that is Rhizopus stolonifer. Now over here you can see the first figure in which the Rhizopus is there. This Rhizopus is showing a white cottony growth when it is immature. When it gets mature, it converts to grayish black in color, and then it covers whole strawberry, making it infected and unavailable to the humans for its purpose. The second figure that you see, that is of the tomatoes. You can see both the type of tomatoes over here. One, they are red in color. Second, they are blackish in color. Red one, they are healthy, while black one, they have been infected by the blight fungi, making it also, you can say, unavailable. This Zygomycota, they have both the type of cycles during the lifespan, like asexual and sexual. Let us see the asexual cycle. In asexual cycle, you can see that there is a long stalk, upright stalk called as the sporangiophore, and a sporangium is present on the tip of the sporangiophore, which contains the asexual spores. When the sporangium bursts, these asexual spores, they disperse with the help of the wind, insect, etc. And when they get moist and you can say a solid surface, they will again reproduce, or they will form an hyphae, and with this way they will continue to reproduce. While reproducing, you can see these fruiting bodies, they have been attached with a long hyphae which is called as a stolon. Also there is presence of the rhizoids, and these rhizoids which are present, they will anchor the plant inside the, you can say, the solid surface, as well as it is going to absorb the nutrients from there. After studying the asexual cycle, let us see the sexual cycle. In the sexual cycle, you will see that there is a conjugation process carried out. Over here in the figure, you will find that positive hyphae and negative hyphae will fuse with the help of the conjugation method to form a sexual spore called as the zygospore. This zygospore is usually formed when there is very harsh environmental conditions, and until the condition improve, they will go for the sexual cycle. As condition improves, they will again return to the asexual cycle, producing the asexual spores. Now let us go to the third group, that is the Ascomycota fungi. This fungi, it is called as the sac fungi. Over here you can see the different fungi like club fungi, cup fungi, morels, truffles, yeast and mildew, they are included in it. Over here, yeast is a unicellular comparing to the other which are multicellular. They are usually plant parasite causing disease like Dutch elm disease and chestnut blight disease. They also reproduce by both the means, that is sexual and asexual. If we see the sexual way, over here they produce a sac-like structure which is called as the ascus, and in this ascus, the ascospores are being produced. There is a specialized hyphae which is present called as the ascocarps, which contains this ascus. Now over here in the picture you can see that in ascus there is a diploid zygote form. This diploid zygote will convert into the haploid one with the help of the meiosis process, and then they would get favorable condition, germinate, and on germinating hyphae would be formed. Similarly, you can see that there is also production of asexual spores. These asexual spores which are produced, they are called as the conidia, which are formed on the tip of the special hyphae called as the conidiophores. This conidiophores will produce at the most, or you can say exactly 8 spores, 8 conidia on a single conidiophores. Over here we took also an example of yeast. Unlike others, yeast they do not reproduce by the asexual spores, but they reproduce by the asexual method like budding. Budding is the process in which the yeast will form a bud at its end. It will get bigger, it will have all the nuclear material required, and then when it would get matured, it would break off and it would make more yeast and it would be an individual now. The figure over here shows is of the conidia, in which they are arranged in a sac. Now, if you see over here, there is the formation of the conidia, like conidia which are on the exactly on the conidiophore, which are arranged in a stalk like horizontal manner, and below is the picture showing the yeast budding cells. Now, if you see the uses, Truffles and morels, they are the examples which are the edible exomycosis, that is, they can be used as a food material. Then penicillium mold, they make an antibiotic called as penicillin, which is a boon to humans. Next, they also give flavor to certain types of cheese. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, which is an example of yeast, they are used in the bakery industries for leveling of the bread, as well as for the fermentation of bread and wine. Going to the next class, that is the Cryptidiomycota fungi. These are also called as the critids. They are the true fungi and they are produced by the motile spores. Motility is with the help of the whip splash like flagellum, which will help them to move in the aquatic habitat. Mostly this group of fungi, they are saprops and parasite, causing infection in other microorganisms. One of the economical important of this group of fungi is they biodegrade the organic matter, as well as they go for the recycling of the nutrients in the environment. Next, we will see about the mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a mutualistic relationship found between the fungus and the plant roots. That is a mutualistic relationship in which fungus will provide nutrients and water supply to plants, whereas in return plants will provide carbohydrate for their growth. There are two kinds of mycorrhiza, that is the, you can say, ectomycorrhiza and endomycorrhiza. Ectomycorrhiza means those which are only going to invade the root, but they are not going to penetrate, for example Ascomycota and Basidiomycota, whereas the Zygomycota is an example in which Hyphae will invade the root cells, as well as they would penetrate inside the cells, and hence they are known as the endomycorrhiza. Both these ecto and endomycorrhiza, they are extremely important ecologically, and they will help to create a fertile soil. Let us see now about the lichens. This is also one of the example of the mutualistic relationship. Fungus over here is going to protect the algae or cyanobacteria, which is having a symbiotic relationship with the fungus. Algae or cyanobacteria, they are autotrophs, means they are going to produce their own food, and on the production of their own food, they will provide this food to the fungi. Why? Because fungi, they are the heterotrophs. They cannot produce their own food. Now, these lichens can be divided on the basis of their, you can say they can be classified on the basis of their thallus, that is the body. The first picture that you see, that is of the foliose. These are the lichens that are leafy or lobe-like structures having branches, as if you feel they are like leaf, but they are not true leaves. The second picture that you see below it is of the fruticose. These are the lichens which are finely branched, which grows up from the ground like a tiny shrub. The third, that is the crutose that you see, that is the lichens which form a flat crusty plates. This group of lichens, they have varieties of colors and they look attractive when we see this type of lichens. Now, if you see the structure of the lichen, this is an electron microgram picture in which you can see the green part, that is the cyanobacteria, and around it the hyphae of the fungi is being placed. This is a symbiotic relationship which is being seen. Over here you can see that the lichens, they cannot live in the environment alone, means both will be found together. But sometimes it has been seen that algae or cyanobacteria, they can live free living organisms in the environment, but by nature they are having a symbiotic relationship. If we see further, then you can see that the lichens, they act as a biomonitors. Now biomonitors in the sense that they are going to study, or they will see the quality of the air. Now when they are studying the quality of the air, you will find that lichens, they are very sensitive towards the pollutant. Now when they are sensitive towards the pollutant, then they cannot grow in such kind of environment. So it is an indication that if air is being polluted, then lichens are not going to grow. But nowadays resistant species have also been found in which they grow. Beside this, they are also helpful to indicate the presence of the sulfur as well as the heavy metal concentration inside the air. Beside this, the biomonitoring, they also help, or they are widely used in the preparation of the litmus paper. You all must be knowing the litmus paper. It is used to study, or it is used to measure or to check the pH of the particular dye. Now, another use of the lichens is in the medicines. Usually the syrups have been prepared from the lichen, that is the Saxicola species, which will help in the, or that specific lichens will help in the rejuvenation process. Else than that, they are also used by the folk peoples in the condiments, in the garam masala preparation for preparing various dishes. Now from this we can say that it is a diverse group, and it is a fascinating group, and they are eukaryotic microorganisms which have vast variety of forms and cellular processes. As a whole, these organisms are fascinating for their complex life cycle, their changeable morphology, alternate methods for reproduction, effective both as disease-causing microbes and commercially valuable resources, and their role in the environment. So, from this we can say that it is very interesting to study the fungi, and mycologists, they play a very good role in doing that. As Rina Bain said that there are 1.5 million fungi and only few fungi have been studied. So mycologists or researchers, they have a vast area in mycology to study about the fungi and to carry out the new you can say challenges in this field. Now these are my references, and we have prepared our presentation by this way, and you can say that this is we have tried our level best to give you the good presentation so that it may help you for your future studies. So thank you. If you all have any questions, you are free to ask us.